there's Rocco Buckets. He's back for another season of Play With Your Buckets. Nobody loves a good Tractor Supply bucket like the Rocco man. All right, well, there Scott goes. We are seeding our fields today. This morning was, I don't know, spent about $1,000 in seeds. So we're gonna spread all this out and hopefully cover some of this pasture that got beat up in the winter. So we got a ground temperature he measured of 57 degrees. We should hit 60 in the next couple days. We got some rain coming tonight, which is gonna be good. A little more rain tomorrow. And then we got some sunshine mixed with showers the rest of the week. So it's gonna be good. There's the ducks, there's the chickens. Everybody's doing their thing. So he's got a drag on the back, and the drag is sort of opening up that soil bed, and we're doing a broadcast seeding there. We have a pasture mix that we're using. We also put some red and white clover in there, and we have some Kentucky 31 fescue that's going down as well. So we hope that mix of seeds really works well and gets us stimulated. So as you know, I've showed in previous videos, our winter not only taught us something, but it beat us up pretty good. So you can see, you know, what we got going here. So the grasses are starting to come in, but having this much soil exposure is not good for business. So again, we're hoping to getting these seeds down now pretty quickly, and we are hoping to get this thing to grow. So that's what we're aiming for. But the great lesson here is this, you know, especially for winter feeding here in the Northeast. You know, look, rotational grazing, we do it all summer long, and it's fantastic and fabulous. But we're having second thoughts here about doing it in the winter. We get so much wind up here that it just blows little things around. I have to always be checking the pasture. So it gets us thinking what our method should be in order to you know, get the most out of our ground. And I don't know if rotational grazing, I think we're gonna have to have a start and a stop point to you know, to when we do that. So here's when we move the cows into a what kind of pasture would you call that? I guess they call it a sacrifice pasture. So you know, we'll use that as our sacrifice pasture. But I mean, you can just see this ground got so beat up, but there is seed. You know, we got quite a bit of seed here on the ground too. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Again, not happy with this situation, but we caused it. So unlike most people, we have to take accountability for it, and we have to just spend the money on the seeds to try to get this thing to catch. So Scott's helping us, Scotty Briskets. He's the world's famous Scotty Briskets, and you know, we're getting this done here. So again, we're going to try to use the weather to our advantage and to our favor, and push these seeds into the ground and hope that they spark right up so we can get things going here. But the temperature of the ground's been slow to you know, to gain temperature or gain the heat that we need. But we're gonna get there. We're getting there. We're moving. Hopefully this week we see some really good pop and some really good spark, and we can start getting some of these areas in the pasture to go. You know, being a grass-fed, grass-finished operation, you know, grass obviously is super important. And I will say, again, in our region, I think rotationally grazing the animals has costed us by doing it in the winter. You know, down south is one thing. You know, you have less mud, and I think oftentimes less rain. So we're happy for the rain up here. But the cost of the rain, there's a cost to the rain, I guess is what I'm getting at. And that cost is mud. And mud beats up pastures. you know, the tractor beats up pasture. So next year we're going to work to get the tractor off of the pastures in the winter and come up with an alternative method. And I think if we just feed in one place, like on that sacrifice pasture, we got a good chance because we could preserve all of this, and this can grow nice and thick, and we'll continue to seed it and do what we got to do. But listen, you learn as you go. It's a process, and we're learning as we go. So every day we're just trying to get a little bit better and making mistakes, because that's what we do in life, right? Nobody's perfect. We make mistakes, and then we battle back from those from those mistakes. The other thing is too, we're starting to see the consequences too of a bigger herd. Part of the idea behind the bigger herd is obviously having more beef, but it was also to put more carbon on land that didn't have a lot of carbon put on it. So there is a fine line as to how many cows to have on land like this, and I think we're at our max. I know we're at our max. And again, the age-old conversation that we've been having here is like, all right, well, what are we going to do? And that's going to require more land and or selling some of our stock. So we'll probably be deploying both, right? The and part, not the or, and see what we can do. So it's all good. This is all about decision making. And one thing we always say with farming is you always got to be making decisions. You got to stay ahead. It can get exhausting at times because you're just making decisions all the time. So if you're somebody that doesn't like to make decisions, this may not be the gig that is optimal for that personality. But ultimately, I always say we're landscapers, we're vets, we're entrepreneurs. We have to do it all, and that's what is required of running a good farm and keeping these farms going. I was talking to an old farmer this morning who's actually selling his farm and passing it to another couple that are going to take on dairy operations over there. And he was just saying, for so much of his farming career, he just broke even. It was about paying the bills and breaking even. Can I pay the bills? If I could pay the bills, it's the win. And I said to him, well, but what about the profits? And he said, well, the win was being able to pay the bills. He said, we weren't even thinking about profit. And that's a sad thing, man. It's really, that's sad to hear. He ran the farm for about 20-something years, but ultimately he wasn't able to turn the profits that he was looking for and hoping for. And there was such a cost to that. And the cost was, he said, he was strained and stressed and feeling the pressure. And now he feels a little bit lighter in the fact that he's able to pass the torch and sell this farm out. So this is one of the good stories in that the farm is being sold and still it's going to be operated. But there's a lot of stories that don't end like that. Some of them end in foreclosure, some of them end in auction sales, some of them end in just closure in general. So it's good to hear. It's good to see that this farm is being taken over and people are gonna take a shot at it. So that's what we want. So I think if we can see more of that, more of these family farms being taken over and running strong, as a nation we get stronger, right? That's been my theme this week, is if you put focus on the land, put focus into these family farms, growing them out, making them stronger, making them better, life gets better because we control our food supply, and we know that our American farms are staying strong and they're holding their own. So we can only do channels like this and episodes like this to hopefully inspire people to realize a couple things. One is that you can run your own farm. You could start with 2 acres, 3 acres, 5 acres, it doesn't matter. But A, you can do it, and B, you're needed to do it, right? We need more people to step up and take a shot. Grab those small acres, run some chickens out there. Even if you just do it for your family, right? And that's called a homestead. That works too. But you gotta get in the game, because we need tracts of land to be farmed in order to you know, create stability within our country, starting at the root level. You know, as many of you know, I'm a coach, and one of the things I coach off of, it's called Maslow's hierarchy. It's a psychological model that says that food and shelter are number one to any person's mental health and health in general. And it's the same for our country as a whole, right? We need to make sure that there's food and shelter available. And I tell you what, if more people took a shot on their own, you know, on their own farm, their own tracts of land, growing their own food, I mean, think about how stable that would make one feel within themselves. I mean, that's a great thing. You know, again, just to know you have your own food supply. I mean, like for us, we have hundreds of eggs that are laid every day. That makes you feel good. Worst case scenario, right? You'll be on an egg diet. You'll look great, right? High protein, you'll be feeling amazing. But knowing that, you know, brings a lot of comfort and brings a lot of stability. So if more people, I think a lot of people deal with strain and stress and mental health issues today because they have a worry. But if you know that one of your major worries of being able to feed yourself is handled, you know, you can put up a light structure. Like Scott has a pretty cool structure up the street, him and his wife built. It's a cabin in the woods. It's great. It's all you need. Barbecue, smoker outside, life is really good. It's not expensive to do that. So they got land, they got their place to live, and you know, they go deer hunting out there. But for someone else, you could have a couple chickens, you could have some meat birds, you can have you know, whatever, maybe a couple pigs, and 2 cows, 2 pigs, a couple chickens, you're all set. Maybe, and a small garden. What else do you need to sustain yourself and check that box of food security for you and your family? And if more and more people did that, again, I'm talking a couple acres of land. For some people, again, it could be as small as an acre of land. Just make sure you have the obviously appropriate zoning, but there is a lot of amazingness that comes from knowing that you have security of food. And I think security of food, security of shelter will create security of mind. And what we like to let our customers know is, look, even if you don't have a farm, let us be your farm. You know, we want you to come up here. We want you to see the place. We want you to engage and be a part of this. Every year in September, we have Freedom Fest, which is our big farm party. This year it's going to be September 14th, where customers come from all over. And last year we had over 500 people, almost 600 people, and it was a blast. We cook our own meats. We make people feel a part of the farm, like this is a place that they can call home and feel comfortable with, and that's the whole idea. You know, we want to give them, our customers, a sense of security that, hey, we got you. You know, we're gonna do our best to make sure that your food supply is secure, even in a remote location. So, again, I know it's a little bit of a rant and a tangent that I've been on this week, but I think it's so important that we start to sustain our own food supply, and we begin to control our own food supply as opposed to relying on big companies, some of which are not even American companies, to feed us as a nation, as a country, as a people. So that's the lesson today, right? Think about those couple acre farms that you guys can buy and be a part of, and you know, take a shot, or at least, you know, have something in an agricultural community or in an area where there's some acreage. Even if you have a small plot, but you can get closer to farms. It's important, and I know a lot of farmers are working hard on a day-to-day basis to you know, to A, make a living, but B, provide for people in general, so that they could eat and that they can have a great life. So anyway, that's what I got for you all. I hope you enjoy your day. I hope you enjoy your night. I hope you enjoy your life. And we are freedomfarms.com. If you want us to bring some of our farm to table meats to you, we'd love to do that. And we hope you guys are doing great. And if you ever need anything, reach out. And what else do I have to say to you? Oh yeah, give us a like, give us a thumbs up. give us some comments down below. We love to hear from everybody, and we enjoy doing these episodes just to bring you out onto the pasture, onto the farm, onto the fields, and be a part of our farm journey here at Freedom Farms in upstate New York, Greene, New York, 3 hours outside of New York City, but shipping nationwide, bringing the farm to you. All right, everyone, we'll see you soon. And again, we got Joel Salatin coming July 20th of this year. It's going to be a good one. I think you're going to enjoy it. Man, is it going to be inspiring and fun and engaging, that's for sure. So we'll see you all soon. Have a great day, have a great night, have a great life. See ya. He just loves it. This is how this bulldog gets his exercise. There he goes. There he goes. His mother's not home right now, so he can just play with the buckets all he wants. That's our egg bucket, and he is just going to town, folks. Look at this guy. Who would have thought one could have so much fun with just a bucket? There he goes. Gotta love those bulldogs. When they fixate on something, they are locked in, folks.